Go ahead and call the meeting to order. It's 9 a.m. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance this morning. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'll start and ask for approval of this morning's agenda.
The motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next, I can ask for consideration of approval of the minutes dated March 23rd, March 25th, 2022.
I'll make that motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Next, I can ask for consideration of claims for payment dated March 30th, 2022.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We've got about a minute here. I'm going to go ahead and ask for approval of the Hardin County Jail's monthly report for the month of February.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And here momentarily, we'll go ahead and open the public hearing to propose a conveyed interest in real property. Give that a few seconds here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing. First, I'm going to ask Jolene if you had any written or phone comments.
I have not.
Okay. Okay, yeah,
I have not gotten.
All right. so,
Would you want somebody to explain what it is?
sure. Daryl, do you just want to give a 30-second synopsis?
I can start and then I think Joe.
Joe,
can probably
okay.
Explain what,
Do you want it brought up?
yeah, if it's possible. This is that piece along the Iowa River Trail corridor on the west side of Steamboat, just as you go across the river on the west side there. And when we acquired the trail, there was a building that already existed on it. And the Trail Commission has been working on what to do with this building so that the Schulers could acquire it. And I think they have some plans that would benefit the county economic development along the trail. So several meetings have taken place. This has kind of gone on over more than a year, I believe. And so,
Definitely.
Yeah. 4.
yeah, okay. And so the bottom line for the county was this is going to, this proposed conveyance is going to mean no liability, for the county and potential, economic development, improvement, an attraction for the users of the trail. So kind of a win-win is what we're anticipating here. You can see, you all have Joe, if you want to come up and explain kind of more what you did and the parcel that we're carving out or the piece.
Yeah,
we're
come on,
carving
zoom
out.
in a little bit more, Mike. Yeah, so right here is the right of way line of the trail. So basically, the majority of the building sits in the right of way of the trail. The good thing was there was a survey already filed for that piece of property, and so I was able to go out there and find the 2 pins that pertain to the survey and just offset that and then create our legal description of that. So, it's pretty simple process.
The buildings there from the old co-op, correct?
Yep.
That's pretty typical that they build on railroad property.
Yeah, a lot of times that happens.
And as the railroad closed, property sold off. John's now the owner of that property, is correct? And what you're asking is that
what we're asking is that we don't own that, or and make it your ownership, but if the building was ever to come down, the ownership reverts back to us. So you can make something productive out of that, but that building was there long before you bought that property. That cover, I think, everything you guys are asking.
John, you want to add anything? You're the owner, and I appreciate you coming in today, taking your time.
No, thank you for your work on this, and Daryl, and to get this resolved. We don't know what the plans are there. We walked through that this last weekend, and it's in the last several years really deteriorated a lot more than what it had been, but hopefully it's still salvageable, and we'll see what becomes of it, so.
And we, as the county, don't want to own property if somebody's actively doing something. We don't want that liability either.
Right.
Thank you, Joe.
You bet.
Be a great benefit for the trail if something can be done.
Okay. Anything else? With that, I can ask to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion, a second, to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, public hearing's closed. Next item for consideration would be the adoption of the resolution to convey the interest in real property.
I will make that motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion, a second, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Lance,
Aye.
Renee. Aye. BJ.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next item I have is consideration of a utility permit UT-22-003.
Make a motion to approve the utility permit application UT 22-003 by Midland Power.
I will second.
I have a motion, a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Next item after consideration is the utility permit UT-22-004.
Make that motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion, a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next, I have consideration, discussion with possible action on unnamed road easement adjacent to 170th Street in section 3 of Clay Township. Kevin Vidbar is here. Taylor, do you want to, I'll let you set up the discussion here and then we'll yield the floor to Kevin.
Sure. So Kevin's mainly gonna be talking to you about this parcel of land here, this easement that was in 2002. It was, yeah, a resolution for Hardin County to take over that, mainly for the purpose of building of Pine Lake corn processors. It was going to be their access. It was going to be the one road in. Okay, somewhere along the lines, we decided to build that road to the south that they actually are using. So we have this one up here that they got and have never used, and we really don't have any need for it.
So when I asked you last week when you presented that to us,
Yep.
Stipulations, anything else, I believe you got back to me saying that Highway 20 wasn't.
Correct. The final plans for Highway 20 were not done yet. So like I said, that was going to be the road. So in our RISE application or our whatever the agreement we have with the DOT was to maintain the road to there for 20 years. Well, we are maintaining a road there for 20 years. Like they weren't specific about which road it had to be. So yep, so originally it was gonna be that one on the north, but after Highway 20 was built, they went with the one to the south, so.
And at any given time, if we get rid of this, if any fines or penalties were assessed to us or any of the landowners around because we gave that up. I talked to Kevin last week, he was willing to pay these.
I'll have to get a Summit representative.
Okay,
I said they would consider it, but I can't make that decision.
Okay.
I'm not an employee of Summit.
But I also do not anticipate that.
right.
So our agreement with the state for the road to the south is to maintain that for 20 years. And that was signed in August of 2002. So
Okay.
you're almost there. And like I said, we're meeting the agreement by having them have their access.
And it would actually make more sense with NRP being right there, so.
Correct.
it
I
probably-
assume
it did
that's
allow for some
probably where it
development.
came from, yeah.
I would have to ask Ronnie, but yeah. Okay, Kevin, go
Sure.
ahead.
Sure. So basically, this is one of the 30 plants that's being hooked up for the pipeline. And pipeline's gonna come up to here, and right here is where the compression plant's gonna go. So there's gonna be an access road here. So that's why we need, that part of that easement. And the goal here is to get a release of an easement. That's what I normally do in situations like this, but it was mentioned that you guys want to vacate it, which I've never experienced before, so I don't know that procedure. So it just depends on what the supervisors want to do.
I assume you can do one and then the other right there, huh? Like we could release it and then vacate it later too.
Yeah.
So Joe had written a description of what we would want to vacate. It's pretty much everything except for the right of way that we need for 170th.
So Daryl, what would your suggested action, if anything, be today? Or would you like to do your due diligence and research and then propose something to the supervisors?
The owner of the land that surrounds the easement is the ethanol plant.
Yes.
I'd want to be in touch with them, just. So, it sounds like there's 3 parties here that need to work together, so I need to be in touch with whoever the representative is as well.
I just met with James Brockhammer yesterday, and I'm signing the easement for the big part. Do you want me to help set up a time for me to meet at the office, or do you want to just talk to him directly? What would you like to do?
You'd want to come to the office, or I can come up to the plant too,
Okay,
either way.
okay. He just called me this morning, so I gotta give him a call back. Tomorrow, are you available?
Afternoon.
Afternoon? Okay, I'll see what his schedule is for tomorrow afternoon.
All right.
And I'd like to go with it because there's a certain way to get into the building and you have to knock, don't enter the building. It's kind of a crazy thing to do, but
But if it's easier to come down here, we can do it that way too. Just
okay.
tomorrow afternoon would work.
And you have an office here or just in this room?
I'll let you guys figure the
Yeah.
logistics out.
Okay.
We have a 9:30 meeting, so.
Okay.
All right. Next item I have are change of status, one change of status in the secondary roads department. Adam Johnson, a resignation. He's a motor grader operator at a rate of $22.44 an hour, effective April 8th, 2022.
I'll make that motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion, a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Next, I have 4 for the sheriff's office. First would be Brooke Feemy. She was hired permanent part-time at a rate of $18.90 an hour as a correctional officer effective March 30th.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion, second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next is the resignation effective March 25th of Caleb Graham as a correctional officer. He was full-time at $18.90 an hour.
Make motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next I have is a resignation of part-time sheriff's deputy David Burke effective March 24th of 22.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. The final change of status I have in the Hardin County Sheriff's Office effective April 11th is Shayna Christensen, correctional officer, full-time, was hired at a rate of $18.90 an hour.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Any other business, Lance?
No.
Renee?
No.
I have nothing. With that, I can,
Michelle.
oh, Michelle, taxes,
Just
get those
taxes
taxes
are due.
paid.
We got 2 more days, so.
Yep,
We have about 87%, that was yesterday, percent collected, so there's still taxes out there to collect, so.
Okay.
hoping that people get them either mailed or online
Online.
or in office or Dropbox. Plenty of options
And they have till 4:30 on the 31st.
to pay in
Pay in
office.
office, yep,
Or postmark works or till midnight on the web.
okay, sounds good. All right, anything else? With that, I can ask for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We're adjourned.